Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. See, love ain't about how good you look, how many jokes you can tell, or how many late night texts you can send. Love, the kind that lasts forever, comes down to one thing, and that one thing is boundaries. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something real today. I've been on this earth long enough, I've talked to enough women, and I've been around enough men to know the truth about love. Everybody out here is searching for that one thing that makes a man stay, that makes a man not just say he loves you, but show you he loves you day after day. And people complicate it. They think it's about looks, about cooking, about being available, about doing everything a man asks. But the truth is simpler than that. What really makes a man fall in love forever is not how much you give, but what you're willing to hold back. It's about boundaries. The power of boundaries in creating respect. That's the game changer. Now, here's the deal. A man doesn't respect what he can run over. We're wired to push, to test, to see where the limits are. That's not because men are bad people. That's because we're built to chase. And if there's nothing to chase, if there's no standard to rise to, then we lose interest. But when a woman has a boundary, when she looks a man in the eye and says, this is the way I deserve to be treated, and I will not accept anything less, that hits different. That boundary commands respect, and respect is the soil love grows in. Without respect, love dies fast. With respect, love lasts forever. Love lasts, love tends. Think about it. If a man can walk all over you, if every time he calls you answer, if every time he disappears you welcome him back without asking questions, if he can take your time, your energy, and your love without giving anything back, then what's left for him to respect? See, when there are no boundaries, there is no value. A man treasures what he respects, and he respects what he can't just have his way with. That's why that one boundary, just one, can make all the difference. Ladies, you got to understand something about men. We don't fall in love with women we can control. We fall in love with women who challenge us to be better. We fall in love with women who won't bend just because we showed up with a smile and some smooth words. A man might like that, he might use that, but he won't love that. What he will love is the woman who stands tall and says, you can't come at me any kind of way. If you want me, you've got to honor me. That's what grabs a man's soul and makes him say, she's the one. Respect and love are tied together tighter than most people realize. A man can be attracted to you without respect, but he cannot stay in love with you without it. Attraction fades. Chemistry comes and goes. But respect, that's what makes a man wake up every morning and say, I can't lose her. Respect makes him stay faithful. Respect makes him listen. Respect makes him fight through the hard time. And that respect starts with your boundary. Now, let me be clear. A boundary doesn't mean being mean. It doesn't mean shutting everybody out. It doesn't mean you don't care. What it means is you care enough about yourself to protect your heart. You care enough about your future to not let anybody drag you into mess you don't deserve. You care enough about your peace to say, if you can't come correct, you can't come at all. That kind of strength is magnetic. Men admire it. Men may act frustrated with it at first, but deep down, it's what makes us step up. It makes us want to earn you, not just have you. That's the beauty of boundaries. They don't just protect you, they transform him. When you set a boundary, You're teaching him how to treat you, but you're also teaching him how to love you right. You're showing him that you know your worth, and that makes him rise up to his. A good man doesn't run from boundaries. He respects them. He honors them, and he falls deeper in love because of them. And when a man truly respects you, that love doesn't fade. It doesn't break. It doesn't get shaken by every storm. That love stays. Ladies and gentlemen, never underestimate the power of that one boundary. It is the line that turns interest into commitment, attraction into devotion, and a man into a partner who wants forever with you. Everybody wants to know the secret, the one thing that makes a man fall in love so deep that he doesn't want to ever let go. People think it's about being available, being there every second, answering every call, showing up whenever he snaps his fingers. But here's the truth about men. We don't value what comes too easy. We fall in love with what we can't easily access. The harder it is to get, the more we treasure it when we finally do. That's the way we're wired. When something is always there, when it's always waiting, it loses its shine. Think about it. If somebody gave you a diamond every single day, you'd stop seeing it as rare. It would just become normal. But if you had to save up for it, if you had to work for it, if you had to prove yourself worthy of it, then when you finally held it in your hand, you treat it like the treasure it is. That's exactly how men look at love. A man falls hard for the woman who doesn't just hand over her time, her heart, and her soul without making sure he's the right one for it. It's not about playing games, it's about value. When a woman knows her worth, she doesn't give unlimited access to every man that smiles her way. She protects her time, she guards her peace. She doesn't answer every late night text, and she doesn't bend her standards just because she feels lonely. That's the kind of woman a man looks at and says, she's different. And when a man sees different, he reacts different. He rises up, he puts in effort, he proves himself because he knows she won't just give her love to anybody. Men fall in love with the pursuit, not the convenience. When a man has to call, has to plan, has to show consistency to get your attention, he's investing in you. And the more he invests, the more valuable you become in his eyes. If it was easy, he wouldn't cherish it. But when he has to climb for it, he won't want to let it go. He'll see you as the prize he worked for. And that's the kind of love that lasts. Some women think giving more, being too available is the way to a man's heart. But the truth is, giving too much too soon makes a man take you for granted. He may enjoy it in the moment, but he won't fight for it. He won't commit to it. He won't treasure it. Men are simple creatures. But one thing is clear, we only keep what we had to earn. That's why when a woman has limits, when she makes it clear that she's not just another option, she becomes unforgettable. A man can meet 100 women, but the one who stands out is the one who didn't make it easy. She's the one who made him think. She's the one who made him question if he was ready to step up. She's the one who didn't let him slide by with excuses and empty promises. She required effort, and that effort is what made him attach his heart to her. The more a man works for something, the more he ties his identity to it. That's why when a man finally wins a woman who made him climb, he protects her, he respects her, and he loves her in a way that lasts. It's not about being cold. It's not about shutting people out. It's about having standards. When a man knows he can't just walk into your life and get everything without proving his intentions, he automatically sees you as valuable. And that value is what creates love. Because a man doesn't give his heart to something he doesn't value. He gives his heart to what he fought for, to what he couldn't get from anyone else, to the woman who made him earn it. Men fall in love with what they can't easily access because deep down, we were made to chase. We were made to climb mountains, to prove ourselves, to protect what we win. When love comes too cheap, we don't protect it. But when it's rare, when it's guarded, when it's something we had to give our all to get, we hold on to it like our life depends on it. That's when love becomes forever. In a world where everybody is trying to get noticed, where everybody is trying to be chosen, the truth is most people end up blending in. They think if they give more, if they agree with everything, if they never say no, that somehow it will make them stand out. But it doesn't. It just makes them common. What truly makes a woman unforgettable, what makes her shine in the eyes of a man, is not what she gives away, but what she refuses to compromise. Boundaries are what separate one woman from the crowd. And boundaries are what make a man look at her and say, she's different. She's worth it. Men see many women, we talk to many, we notice beauty, we notice charm, we notice style, but beauty fades into the background when everyone has it. Charm stops mattering when it's given to every person in the room. What doesn't fade is strength, and strength shows up in boundaries. When a woman carries herself with the quiet confidence of knowing her worth, when she makes it clear that she will not accept less than respect, she rises above the noise. That boundary alone makes her stand out. The truth is, it's easy to say yes. It's easy to let people slide. It's easy to lower your standards so you don't feel alone. But the women who stand out are the ones who don't take the easy road. They're the ones who say, I'd rather wait for the right one than waste myself on the wrong one. That's power. That's rare. And men notice rare. We can't help it. We chase it, we admire it, we fall in love with it. A man may enjoy the company of someone who bends to his every whim, but he doesn't love her deeply. He doesn't respect her deeply. He doesn't commit his soul to her. Why? Because she didn't require anything of him. She didn't push him to grow. She didn't set herself apart. But the woman who sets that boundary, who says, this is who I am and this is how I will be treated, she is unforgettable. That kind of woman leaves an imprint on a man's mind because she's not like everybody else. She doesn't just hand over her time and energy. She guards it like the treasure it is. When a man meets a woman like that, something happens inside of him. He feels the difference. He realizes he can't come with half effort. He realizes he can't play games. He realizes he has to decide if he's ready to be a real man. That boundary draws the line between who's serious and who's not. And the man who is serious, the man who's looking for forever, he will rise to meet her standard because he don't want to lose her. Boundaries are what make love strong, but more than that, they're what make love rare. And rarity is what men protect. Think about it. We don't protect what's common. We don't fight for what's everywhere. We protect what we can't easily replace. A woman with boundaries is irreplaceable because no one else can duplicate her strength. No one else can duplicate her sense of self-worth. That's why when a man finds her, he falls different. He holds on tighter. He invests deeper. Standing out isn't about being louder, prettier, or more giving. It's about being true to yourself and not settling for less. That is what a boundary is. It's not about shutting people out. It's about letting the right person in. It's about saying, if you want a place in my life, you've got to treat me right. You've got to show me you're worthy. And when a man encounters that, he doesn't see just another woman. He sees the one. Boundaries make a woman stand out because they say more about her than any words could. They say she values herself. They say she has vision for her life. They say she refuses to be treated like an option. And when a man sees that, when he feels that, that's when he falls in love in a way that doesn't fade. That's when she becomes unforgettable. A man might admire beauty, he might enjoy attention, he might like the thrill of something new, but none of that holds his heart forever. What truly locks a man in, what makes him treasure a woman, is when he had to earn her. Because the truth about men is this: we don't place high value on what's handed to us. We place value on what cost us something, what stretched us, what forced us to grow to get it. That's why a man values what he has to earn. And that's why the woman who makes him put in effort will always stand in a different place in his heart. When something is too easy, it doesn't mean much. Think about it. If someone gives you money you didn't work for, you'll spend it quick because you didn't sweat for it. But when you grind, when you save, when you sacrifice to get that money, you guard it, you invest it, you don't waste it. The same thing happens in relationships. If a man can just walk into your life with no effort, no consistency, no proof that he's serious, then he won't treasure it. He'll take it lightly because it didn't cost him anything. But when he has to earn his way into your world, when he has to prove himself worthy, then you become valuable in his eyes. Men are built to work for what matters. We are hunters by nature. We respect the chase, we respect the struggle, and we respect what we had to give of ourselves to get. That's why when a woman makes a man earn her time, her trust, and her love, he attaches himself to her on a deeper level. He doesn't just like her, he respects her. And respect is the foundation of lasting love. Some women believe giving everything up front is the key to keeping a man. They answer every call. They clear their schedules. They give their hearts before they've even seen who the man really is. But what that does is remove the need for effort. It tells the man, I don't require anything from you to have me. And once he knows that, he loses the motivation to give his best. He may stay for a while, but he won't stay forever because there was nothing to earn. There was no journey that made you rare in his eyes. On the other hand, when a woman sets the tone and says, you can't just come in and get all of me without proving who you are, she forces a man to rise. He has to step out of his comfort zone. He has to show consistency. He has to give before he receives. And the more he gives, the more invested he becomes. The more invested he becomes, the more he values what he's working for. That's how men are wired. Think about the difference between something free and something you had to grind for. Free feels nice in the moment, but earned feels priceless. Earned carries weight. Earned makes you fight to keep it. A man who had to earn his place in your life will guard it with everything he has because he knows how much it took to get there. He won't risk losing it. That's why a man values what he has to earn. It's not about playing hard to get. It's about knowing your worth. It's about understanding that if a man really wants you, he'll prove it. You don't have to chase him. You don't have to beg. You don't have to lower your standards. All you have to do is hold firm and let him show you who he is. If he's real, he'll rise. If he's not, he'll fade. Either way, you win. because you didn't give yourself away cheaply. A man doesn't fall in love with easy. He falls in love with meaningful. He falls in love with the woman who required him to show up, to be consistent, to fight for her heart. That's the kind of woman he cherishes, the kind of woman he respects, the kind of woman he loves for life. Because at the end of the day, a man may like what was free, but he treasures forever what he had to earn. Love can't survive without trust, and trust